This program has been brought to you by Airtel, proud supporter of Africa's rising football stars. Welcome to another edition of Airtel Football. What a tournament it was. From the start, all the way to the African Championships, we followed all the action. Country by country, we met the teams, the players. We saw firsthand some of Africa's rising stars. We went 200 kilometers northeast of Kampala to Mbale, a town where football fever runs equally as high as anywhere else in the country, and one of the stopovers for Airtel's Rising Stars competition. Even with the Mbale Tigers bowing out in the semis, there was a real buzz about the impact of the tournament. A tournament about building talent for the future and about identifying the next generation of rising stars. Like this young man.
Edward Kayemba is a boy. I come from a family of 4, 2 girls and 2 boys. I like playing video games, and I'm most especially at home. I don't like walking around town, and I like my father a lot because he supports me in my soccer career, and my mother as well because she does support me as well. I see Airtel Rising Stars is going to help the Uganda Cranes and the Uganda as a nation to develop the young generation. It's doing a very good job because I see very many stars in this tournament that are going to rise up to very important people in the future.
We headed south to Zambia, and for a team of boys from Central Province and a girls' side from Lusaka, their journey began at the country's finals at the Barclays Sports Complex in the capital. The Lusaka girls were crowned queens after they managed to snatch a win from Copperbelt in post-match penalties. 7-6 the final penalties, and off it was to Nairobi for the African Championships.
No, we trained hard, and when we were having our trials, we did our best to choose the best so that we shouldn't be disappointed today, and that's the victory.
Yes, I think I'll make it because I've played well, and they can't leave me out. And I expect to perform better than I have done here, because here, actually, I did score during the game, but until we reached the penalties, I didn't expect the penalties. And I expect to play well in Kenya so that I can be the best striker.
Helena is a good player. She's got the technique, the insight, and she communicates with the fellow players. She holds on the ball very, very well. You know, a number 9 has to hold on the ball and see who to give next. She thinks. You know, in football, you have 3 things: technique, insight, and communication. She does all that.
Actually, football is all about thinking. You can only play football when you think very well. When you hold the ball, you have to know where to take it, and you have to know where to hold it, and when to dribble, you have to know all those things.
The same for the boys from Central Province. It was Joseph Lungu who scored the solitary goal on 40 minutes. The introduction of Peter Kodose from Chibwe in the 63rd minute brought life to the Southern Province attack, but they simply couldn't find the back of the net. Throughout the tournament, Zambia's coach Herve Renard kept his eyes peeled for that next rising star. And one young midfielder from Central Province caught his attention from the start of the tournament.
The Airtel Rising Stars brought so many experience in me. I was there in the season 1 Airtel Rising Star, but then I was not that performed person. Yeah, but in this season 2, I came with that courage of playing football, and in mind there was nothing like being selected to the national senior soccer team. My mind was being selected for the under-17. That is for the one going to Kenya. Yeah. But just came. At the sudden, the coach told me you have been selected to the national team. At first I was surprised, but then after the day after,
I was used to it. People were like encouraging me. I received a lot of encouragement there in Lusaka, and now I just have to prepare more and play the game accordingly.
We travelled west to Nigeria, and the final round in the West African nation took place at the magnificent Agege Stadium in Lagos State, home to the FIFA Legacy Pitch. The partnership between football's governing body and the Lagos State government has certainly helped improve the standards of the game. It was the perfect backdrop for this next generation of rising stars to show who they were and why their school should represent in Nairobi. For some of the kids, it was a chance to honor their families.
I come from the family of 5. My parents and we are 3. 2 boys and I'm the only one that's a girl. So my parents, I told before that my mom is a trader and my dad is a businessman. So they encouraged me a lot. That's the reason why I was able to come here and play it, because some parents, they will not allow their children to leave because of the country, all the things that are happening in the country. So they encouraged me a lot and I love that.
Even if it meant doing something a little out of the ordinary in a family full of boys.
Being the only girl in the family, it has been challenging for me because I love it. I don't know, the thing is just in my blood. I love it, and my parents, because they are supportive, so I just decided to take on it, to play it, yes.
For this group of kids, playing for a spot at the Airtel Rising Stars African Championships, it was about taking that first step.
Well, basically, it has really helped me because I started at an early age and I've been looking for opportunities like this. So thanks to Airtel, and I've seen opportunities like this that really help and boost my morale. At least with this, I could stand out within anybody and stand out within any team to play football.
It was the boys from Jos who won a pulsating final game against the Port Harcourt boys by putting in more goals in a penalty shootout. Port Harcourt appeared set to be crowned champions after Jos lost its third spot kick. But they threw that chance away to restore parity. It went on to haunt them as they lost their 7th spot kick, with the Jos keeper making a spectacular save. This penalty kick was all it took for Jos to claim their place at the Airtel African Championships in Nairobi. For the girls, it was a team Port Harcourt who got the best of Edo with 3 unreplied goals. The South-South side dominated play throughout the duration of the match. All 3 goals were expertly crafted. They were certainly the better side on the day. And for this rising star, perhaps a little overcome by emotion, this was the beginning of a much bigger journey.
I'm very much excited. In fact, I was filled with tears of joy today, because I never expected it. All that they have said about this team, but to God be the glory that He gave me victory today. I'm so much excited. I've made my coach proud. I've made my team Rivers proud, and I have also made Airtel proud and my family proud too. I'm also proud of myself.
From Malawi to Ghana to Mombasa and everywhere in between, we met football's future. When we return to Airtel Football, it's destination Nairobi for the Airtel Africa Championships. Welcome back to Airtel Football. It was destination Nairobi for the Airtel Africa Championships. It's easy to see why they all call it the Green City in the Sun. Founded by the British in 1899 as a simple rail depot on the railway link between Mombasa to Uganda, the town quickly grew to become the capital of British East Africa, and in 1963, the capital of a free Kenyan republic. During Kenya's colonial period, the city became a center for the colony's coffee, tea, and sisal industries. All three industries are still booming today. It is East Africa's most populous city. 4 million plus live within the city and its environs. It is home to thousands of Kenyan businesses and over 100 major international companies and organizations. Nairobi has become a hub for business and leisure. Sport is a large part of Nairobi's culture, with more than 12 world-class golf courses, as well as international rugby facilities. Nairobi is a football-mad city. As a result, 3 of the past 4 Kenya Premier League champions have come from here. 3 magnificent stadiums in different parts of the city: Nyayo Stadium, Kasarani, and Nairobi City Stadium, which boasts a magnificent AstroTurf pitch. It recently played host to the Airtel Rising Stars Africa Championships. And what a tournament it was, from start to finish.
Today, Airtel Rising Stars is the largest tournament of its kind in Africa, being broadcast live on SuperSport. Today is an immensely proud moment for us, where we have celebrated the finals. This year, we had 18,000 teams participate in the Airtel Rising Stars across Africa, and more than 300,000 children participating in all of these matches, culminating in the inter-country championships over the last week in Nairobi.
Well, I think the great thing about working with a partner like Airtel is that they have the scale and the professionalism to put some excellent structure around talent development. That's the most important thing. I think infrastructure and having the right tools and professionalism in place to make sure that we can find the best players. And I think what we look forward to with Airtel is a long-term partnership that will benefit Manchester United and Airtel.
Well, Arsene is a manager who says he values talent over anything else. So he values talent above and beyond passports, and he has a fantastic heritage of bringing players from this continent and making them successful in the Premier League, and that's something which will certainly continue. I think there are 37 African players in the Premier League at the moment, and that figure's certainly to grow. There's fantastic raw talent, and programmes like this, which provide more structure to help develop that talent, can only be encouraged.
But even with all the excitement of being the host nation, it was a mixed bag of results for the Kenyan sides. On the first day, the girls walloped Malawi 11-0. But the boys started against the Malawians, losing 5-1. In their quest for glory, Kenyan girls opened the score sheet through Vivian Odhiambo, who netted 5 goals. Florence Owino followed with a hat-trick. Agnes Waithera scored a brace, while Divina Balongo added a goal to seal Kenya's emphatic win.
Jacob, you were talking about Hope's match earlier on. It came in from a corner. They're hanging there. But look at the spade work down on the right side. And a brilliant way to cut the ball back. Vivian is in the right position. Doesn't waste time or not. It's just by how much they run on the right side. And then the score going in, Jacob.
Kenya boys managed a goal through Crispin Omondi, who drilled in a stunner in the 36th minute. Malawi, who started off the boys' encounter on a high note, got their first goal through Wongam Kusisanja in the 13th minute. Ignatius Makoloni, who notched a brace, made it 2-0 for Malawi with a successful penalty shot in the 23rd minute, before adding another one 2 minutes later. Martin Mapinda and Frank Kanamanja added the remaining goals in the 46th and 59th minutes to deny Kenya victory. A tough opening day for the hosts, but still plenty of football left for a chance at redemption. On day 2, the action was moved to St. Mary's School in Nairobi, and the Ghanaian girls sounded a warning, humiliating their Kenyan counterparts 7-2. Some other results for the girls: Nigeria lost by a solitary goal to Chad, Uganda beat Sierra Leone 3-0, while the Democratic Republic of Congo thrashed Burkina Faso 8-0. In the boys category, Kenya A registered its second consecutive loss of the tournament, losing 1-0 to Ghana. Kenya B drew 1-1 with Sierra Leone. Nigeria and Niger played to a 1-1 draw, while Zambia drubbed Burkina Faso 5-0. Tanzania lost 1-0 to Gabon, and DRC walloped Chad 4-0. Malawi and Madagascar drew 1 goal apiece. The semi-finals were set. For Ghana's boys, it was a tough day at the office, falling hard to Niger, who upset them 4-1 in what seemed like a walk in the park for the West Africans, setting up another finals with Zambia. Zambia boys found their way to the finals, outsmarting Kenya B in an exciting match, which saw the Southern African side grab a late winner. The Kenya A girls atoned for their counterparts' loss, notching an all-important 2-0 win against Chad to book a place in the coveted finals. Ghana girls were in impressive form as they crushed the hopes of Uganda with a 2-0 win, setting up a dream tie against the host nation. The stage was set for a mouth-watering final day, the end of months of nerves, intensity, and patience. This was the biggest day of their young footballing careers. A day filled with pomp and colour. The end of the championships would usher in a brand new chapter in the lives of some of these kids. Former Manchester United legendary keeper Peter Schmeichel offered his words of encouragement, and who better?
To anyone, not goalkeepers only, to anyone. It's all about, if you have talent, you have to stick with that. You have to work hard, you have to listen to what your coaches are saying. You got to work hard every day, and you gotta have a lifestyle which is suitable to playing football, and that means you've got to be very, very disciplined. You cannot live a rock and roll lifestyle at the same time as aspiring to be a footballer. That's very, very simple. And again, I cannot emphasize this hard enough, or many times enough. You got to work really, really hard, and then believe in yourself. And one day, the opportunity will come. If you're good enough, one day there will be a scout in the stand, and you will play the game, and he will notice you, and that's your opportunity.
The ladies' match kicked off with Kenya A going head-to-head with Ghana. And it was top scorer Vivian Odhiambo who broke the deadlock to notch her 12th goal of the tournament. However, the goal spurred on Ghana, who fought tooth and nail as Rita Dako drew level before substitute Emilia Loco broke the hearts of the hard-working Kenyan ladies with a sucker punch late in injury time to win Ghana the coveted trophy and over $10,000. For the boys, it was a tough challenge as Zambia clashed with an impressive Niger, with both sides giving as much as they received, with none wanting to be complacent in the crucial final that would see the winner crowned champions. After 80 minutes of grit and wit, no team had broken the deadlock, taking the game to another extra time, where no goals were scored, perhaps describing the intensity of the match that has to be decided on penalties, as Zambia lost by a 5-4 margin in a grueling final that captured the mood of the entire week of competition. Niger walked away $10,000 richer and a glittering trophy in hand after a grueling 1 week of action, as the curtain folded on an exciting Airtel Rising Stars Africa Championships.
Yeah, one thing again, I think it's advantage for the company. Why? 15 countries going back home, they always say, okay, I have a tracksuit written Airtel. So that brand alone will make youths to be proud of. And some will also have that effect to do sports. Because they want, some of them will say, okay, we want to go and play in Kenya, or let's say Rwanda, or Uganda, and when they don't have support, actually, I think it's like killing the motivation. But when we have companies like Airtel, and also I want to encourage other companies to come in, even the individuals, it doesn't have to be all the time the companies. I think we need all of us in this continent to support our people.
That's all the time we have for in this edition of Airtel Rising Stars. Thanks for watching. See you next week.
This program has been brought to you by Airtel, proud supporter of Africa's rising football stars.